Welcome to episode 1 of the My Breathing Mind podcast. As your host, I thank you for dropping in. I'm super excited to be launching this podcast. It's something that's been incubating within me for some time now, and only recently did it feel like it was ready to be birthed. So here we are. I'm looking forward to sharing what I deeply care about with you through this medium, which I'll cover in this episode, what to expect, and the topics coming your way. And to be frank, this is a new medium for me, so I'll be learning and growing alongside you. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about you, your most precious asset, and reconnecting with what matters most to you. So, stay tuned. Welcome to the My Breathing Mind podcast. My name is Ruth Kobar, your host and founder of My Breathing Mind, where we clear the noise and reconnect with peace, so that we may lead ourselves and others from a place of clarity. If this topic interests you, remember to subscribe to get notified of weekly releases. Now, on to today's episode. What matters the most to you? If you think about everything in your life, what really matters the most? Is it your family? Is it your relationships? Your community? Perhaps it's your business, your craft, your career. Maybe it's your legacy. Or perhaps it's something else completely. While all of that is important, there's one thing that sits at the core of it all, and that's you. And this is what we're focusing on in season 1 of this podcast, clearing the noise and reconnecting with what matters most. In this podcast and the following episodes to come, you can expect to explore topics that will help you clear the noise, ease your mind, and allow you to be truly you, so that you can focus on what matters the most to you, so that you can serve and lead from a place of clarity. I believe if you're listening to this podcast, you have good intentions. You dream big and you want to make an impact in the world. But sometimes the noise around you distracts you from your intention, vision, and truth. When noise clouds our thinking, we get confused and conflicted. When noise interferes with our body, we feel unwell and unease. And when noise dims our heart, we feel stuck and unfulfilled. The simple truth is that if you sense some sort of stress in your mind, body, or heart, it's because there's too much noise. Once you clear the noise, you'll see your truth with clarity. Et voila! The first step to clearing the noise is to recognize it. Noise is anything that doesn't serve you or have your best interest at heart. As you go throughout your day, you may want to take note of anything that you consume with your eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and touch that doesn't serve you or support your growth. There's nothing more you need to do other than taking note of it for now. Because once you begin noticing, you have no choice but to take action. Action that serves your greatest good will follow naturally. For example, when I first started doing the work of clearing the noise in my own life, I noticed a lot of noise everywhere. In my job, my diet, my relationships, my finances, even in my shopping habits. Almost in every single aspect of my life, major and trivial. And once I started noticing them, I became an expert at spotting them in my life. And once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. And of course, naturally, in due time, I was moved to action, with results that are continuing to serve my greatest good today. So, coming back to you, if you're experiencing any amount of stress that's blocking your truth or peace in this moment, all you have to do is begin taking stock of the noise that doesn't serve you. Sounds too simple to work, but you can knock it till you try it. Trust in yourself that once you see what's not supporting your growth and well-being, a part of you is naturally going to want to do what's best for you. And when you're ready, you're naturally going to find the teacher, the guide, the tool, the book, or the mindset most helpful to help you achieve what you want. In this podcast, I invite us to expand our definition of peace. What imagery comes up for you when you think of the word peace? Do you see a meditating monk, or a relaxing spa, or people frolicking in the countryside pastures? If so, I understand. And I also want to challenge you to redefine peace, mainly so that you may experience it more often. Peace isn't reserved for yogis or monks, or the 10 days we're on vacation, or even the 10 minutes of daily meditation. Peace is freedom from disturbance. Notice I said freedom, not free from disturbance. Peace is our ability to assert our power, to be and act grounded in our truth, despite the world we live in and its disturbances. This begs the question, why is peace and ease worth our attention? Every time I hear an unfortunate event in the news, I wonder, would the outcome be different if the person who committed the atrocity was at peace with him or herself? Would a country do what it's doing if it was at peace with itself? And bringing it closer to home, would that person at the store act the way she did if she was at peace with herself? Would my previous bosses act the way they did if they were at peace with themselves? Heck, would I have acted the way I did as a leader of teams if I was at peace with myself? And bringing it even closer into my personal life, would my parents have acted the way they did if they were at peace with themselves? Would my partner react the way he did if he was at peace with himself? And of course, would I have reacted the way I did if I was at peace with myself? I think about the impact of self-awareness, self-care, and ease and peace and its relationship with how we show up in our lives a lot. If you can't tell already, it's sort of my thing. I do believe that often actions and words of aggression and violence, either macro or micro in nature, generally leading to a hurtful consequence, is a result of not being at peace with ourselves and thus our world around us, be it at the global level or at the individual level. At the individual level, we see it as, quote, bad behaviors, or, quote, acting out, or, quote, poor decision making. By the way, all of which I've engaged with at some point in my life. Gandhi's famous quote, "If you want to change the world, start with yourself," comes to mind here. If we want to see a more peaceful world, more conscious business models, better leadership, deeper, more genuine relationships, and more meaning in our work and life, we have to care about the state of our peace. We have to protect our own peace and prioritize it like our life depends on it, because it does. When you're at peace with yourself, you're at ease. And everything you do and touch stems from this peaceful energy. Peace with your decisions, peace with your actions, and peace with how you're showing up in your life. I believe from a place of peace, we can not only feel better, but tap into our purpose, become better leaders, make a greater impact, create deeper connections with the people around us. The world I envision is one where we can experience peace and ease as we live a full life, dream ambitious goals, perform in high stakes and fast paced environments, juggle various responsibilities, and navigate complex relationship dynamics. In fact, I would argue that without the ability to tap into our own peace, everything that we do or want to do won't be sustainable in the long run. And that creating peace and doing things with ease is the gift that will keep giving no matter what your goal is. So, what is robbing us of our peace? Our world seems to be spinning faster with more advancements, more information, and more expectations. Advancements are wonderful, but the fast paced culture where many of us wake up feeling like we're already behind somehow when our day hasn't even started robs us of our peace. Peace is a precious experience that is becoming more scarce, especially if you aspire to living a full life. But we have the power to choose to focus on what brings us peace. And in this podcast, we'll explore how being driven and ambitious to live a full life doesn't mean that we have to give up our peace. In our modern world, our attention is the most valuable asset, and companies everywhere are constantly vying and claiming a piece of it, often for their own gain. By the way, I'm sure most of you have seen the documentary The Social Dilemma by now, but for those of you who haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it as it dives into the sophistication of tactics that tech companies use to compete for your attention. But it's not just social media or the tech industry that's contributing to our sense of unease. It's also everything else. It's the 24-hour news cycle. It's the societal expectations that keeps evolving. It's our workplace. It's our own family of origin story. It's our upbringing that contributes to our own expectations, our thought patterns, and deeply rooted beliefs that create stress in our lives. Another reason why we're experiencing less peace is because in our current world, we've lost honoring both the doing and the being. We're hyper focused on doing because we associate it with value and worth and have forgotten about the huge part of the human experience, which is the being. We experience beauty and ease when we allow ourselves to be. And we all can experience this. It's just a matter of priority and practice. In the following episodes, we'll dive into how to reclaim our peace in common areas that often robs us of our peace, such as competition, productivity, stressful thoughts, burnout, imposter syndrome, and challenging relationships. Research shows that we're better able to lead ourselves and others when we're at ease because we're able to respond rather than react from a place of fear. Being at peace with who we are and our surroundings have so many benefits that compounds to create a better life for us. From better physical health to better mental health to achieving our goals and succeeding and just a general overall well being. Research shows that we're also more creative and can tap into more insight and foresight when we're at ease. which are excellent assets to have no matter who you are, what you do, or what you're going through right now. So, let's reclaim our peace with what we focus our attention on. Treat peace like a precious gift, as we do when we think about other irreplaceable assets such as time, relationships, and our health, so that we're more able to lead ourselves and others. We can do our best work to create a better world. We can experience more meaning and impact. The tricky thing is, we can't ever make someone experience more peace. I don't care how persuasive you are, nobody can make that kind of choice for anyone else. The final call is always on the individual to choose peace over maybe what's more familiar: the struggle, the pushing through, the stuckness, and stress. So, this is what I propose we do. We focus on our own responsibility to reclaim our own peace. And through our experiences, our actions, and who we become, we might inspire someone else, and someone else, and someone else. Imagine a world where everyone reclaimed their own peace. Imagine the impact of that small choice. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to continue the journey with me on clearing the noise and reconnecting with what matters most. If you're interested in diving deeper, check out www.mybreathingmind.com. Be well.